Hey
Okay.
everybody, I'm SD Tekken, and today we're doing a different video, and I have a special guest.
Hi. I am Lumpy Rock of Unreformed Changeling, and yeah, my pronouns are they, any, by the way.
Yeah, I ran into them because I found out they were a fellow hrpufnstuf fan, so I figured, hey, they'd be a perfect person to do a tier list with regarding Pufnstuf. So yeah,
Yeah. So we're going to rank all these different Pufnstuf designs and Freddy Flute designs.
yeah. So starting with the very first one, the one that started it all,
Mm-hmm.
Luther.
Okay. So, one sec.
Alright,
So, I honestly design's kind of iconic, but like it's I don't know. I'm trying to think about what to say about it. What are your thoughts on it?
my thoughts are it's pretty good, but it's clearly a primitive Pufnstuf, so it's pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's not
Um
bad though.
yeah. It just um I find it kind of weird that he doesn't have arms in this design.
Oh yeah, I always found that weird. I wonder why they didn't do that.
Yeah.
I also don't real.
Um
I'm not really a huge fan of the color choice on him either.
no, I find the color choice kind of charming. Like the blue and green is charming, but the the red clashes a bit.
Yeah, and I was also mainly talking about the head color because the head color seems a little bit too pale of blue.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely the orange does clash a bit, especially with the cooler tones.
Yeah.
But you can still tell, like, some of Puff and stuff is even in this older design. You can still tell it's him.
Yeah, it has it has the trademark head shape. It has like the eye bags, I guess.
I always figured they were scales since he's a dragon.
Hmm. Yeah.
Another thing I never
I
really understood is what are those green tassel things, like not green, blue tassel things on his body?
um I
I
don't
get
know.
they look like the same material as his hair, but they're not the same color as his hair. So are they supposed to just be more scales?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's weird because like he doesn't really have scales in any of the other designs.
Well, he technically does with the belly ones, but besides that, not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
But overall, Luthor's not a bad design, but he's definitely not the best either.
Yeah.
So if I were,
I
where would you put him?
You go ahead. I'd put him in like B tier.
Yeah, I agree. B tier is not bad. Next one is another another version of Luthor. I don't know if it's supposed to be Luthor or just an early version of Puff, so I labeled him as Luthor 2 slash early Puff. How do you feel about this one?
Mean, he looks a little frightening, to be honest.
Yeah, I think what's off putting about him is he's more massive in the final design.
Yeah, and like everything, he has very triangular shape language, which makes him more threatening.
Oh
Um,
yeah, especially the nose.
yeah, and the hair poking straight up, and the split tongue, which is retained from the original Luther design.
Yeah, I don't mind it. In hell, the eyes kind of remind me of how they do Stuff's eyes later on in Mutton Stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's not a bad design, but it's definitely below Luthor, I'd say. It, like in
yeah,
likability due to how more aggressive it looks.
yeah. I'd say if there was a place between C and F tier, I'd put it there, but I'd say C tier.
All right, we'll just put him in C tier. And now here is the classic
Yes.
OG 1969 Puff and Stuff.
Hmm.
Arguably, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best costumes he's ever had.
Yeah. I really for the bit you're showing on screen, I really like the versatility of it and how much it can express. Um, Even though it's kind of limited in expressions, like you can see in some scenes, like in the "How Lucky I Am" song, um, the puppeteer will push the sides of the head in to open the mouth.
Oh
And
yeah,
I just find that really neat as a neat way to emote.
yeah. I always liked that about this costume. And later costumes they try to do it with, but due to how deformed the head can be on the later costumes, it just looks weird. And
Yeah.
the in modern Puff, which we'll get to later, I don't think he really does that anymore, sadly.
Yeah.
But overall,
Um
19,
I, on the 420 stream they did on the Cineverse channel, uh like I'm pretty sure the head is like motorized now cuz
oh,
it's
oh yeah, it has to be now. That might explain
yeah.
why.
Um I put the original Puff in S tier.
Agreed. Next one is from the TV show as well. Plush
Mhm.
Puff.
Yeah. Um he's kind of cute, but he's a little greener than normal Puff.
Yeah, but I think it's just because of the airbrushing on the lips that make it look like that. I think they try to
Yeah.
get it really close to the costume, but the airbrush was just a bit too big.
Yeah.
But honestly, though, I sometimes I wonder where this plush is nowadays, whether or not it's still at the cross or it got destroyed or thrown away.
Yeah.
But overall, it's not a
Uh-huh.
bad plush.
Yeah. It's got some iconicness to it as well.
Yeah, it has some of the derpy charm the costume has.
Yeah.
So where would we place this one?
I I put it in B tier, but what do you think?
Yeah, I honestly agree. B tier is not bad. Okay, now here's oh boy. Here's one of the first bad designs we have on the list. Toon Puff 2. I labeled them as Toon Puffs.
Hmm.
How do we feel about this
So
one?
so funny story about this one. My dad actually has a Moby Duck comic that has this advertisement in it.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And it was kind of crazy, and it kind of jump scared both of us because he got really into Moby Duck a while back, and d- I posted it to my Tumblr. I'll send it to you at some point. But yeah,
That's cool. But yeah, how do we feel about his design?
um, feels what is this show? My dad's always telling me about this other show that's kind of Puff and Stuff X. It's like here comes the something. It's it gives more um like late Looney Tunes era than like the bad age of Looney Tunes, as opposed to like charming Puff, you know?
Yeah. And I have a hunch that this design might have been made before Puff's final costume got made, since it's very similar to Luther 2.
Yeah. Um and considering it was put in comic books and to advertise the show, it probably would have been like before the final design was done.
Yeah, most likely. That might explain why he doesn't have this mayor's sash, and why he has different
Yeah.
hands, and most importantly, why the head looks so much like Luther 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, where would we put this design?
I find him kind of charming. I put him either B or C tier.
I'll put it low B.
Mhm.
Okay, now here's one of the good ones. We have Toon Puff 1.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about this
So,
guy?
okay, so this is from Concept, right?
Yeah, it's the concept design that was later used for like merchandise and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Um, I, uh, I'm okay on him. I don't really have too strong an opinion on him. I don't know. He's charming and he has a very round shape language in this one.
Yeah, thank God that he ditched the more edged one.
Yeah.
The only issue I have is sometimes they color the head green, but besides that, it's pretty much like a perfect tune design for Pufnstuf.
Yeah.
So where would we put him?
I don't know. I'll let you choose this one.
I'll put him above Luther in B.
Mm, okay.
Now here's one of my personal favorites: is the Pufnstuf
Mm-hmm.
design used for the record labels and stuff.
Yes. Yes.
This design gives me Disney vibes.
Yes, it does. It is iconic. I keep saying iconic, but all
That's
of
what the
these
show
designs are
is.
probably on someone.
Yeah, and in fact, I actually own the record.
Huh?
Yeah, I actually own this record. I actually own one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I have it displayed on my shelf right now.
Nice.
So yeah, I have a bit of a fondness for this design. It definitely reeks Disney inspired.
Yeah.
Like
It's
if Puff and Stuff ever got like a Disney animated version of itself, that's what it would look like.
yeah. It's a very cute design.
Yeah. So
Um, I put it in A tier.
yeah, same. It's not. It doesn't quite top the original costume just yet.
Yeah.
Now here's one that I'm mixed on: the movie costume.
Mm.
Mainly because even though it's close to the TV show costume, in my opinion, it's actually a bit cheaper. Meaning, and it's more lumpy.
Yeah, he just he seems kind of derpy, but not in a good way.
Yeah, in the TV show, he was derpy in a good way, like because it was intentional. But from this costume, I can't tell if it was rushed or not, and that's why it turned out so lumpy. But it just looks lumpy.
Yeah.
When he's opening
And
his mouth, it
and
looks lumpy and everything.
yeah. Um they tried to do the puff and stuff sucking his mouth into his face thing that they do in the show all the time, and in the clip you sent me, and it just kind of comes off as unnerving.
Yeah, it definitely without how lumpy the mouth is and how misshapen it is, it doesn't work as well.
Yeah.
So,
I put it in C tier, to be honest.
same, I agree. Is it above Lufer 2 though?
Um, in appealing to kids, I would put it above Luther. In my personal opinion, I'd put it below Luther.
All right, then we'll put him below Lufer because at least like because the craftsmanship of Lufer was actually pretty good. Alrighty, now here's our first obscure one.
Okay.
This is a Puff and Stuff costume used for an obscure Atlanta theater event.
Obscure Atlanta theater event.
Yep.
So was this at the theme park?
It doesn't say the theme park on the website I got it from because I got it from Flickr. It just says some theater in freaking Atlanta.
Well, cause I have images from the theme park, and it looks kind of well, not let me look.
All right.
No, it doesn't look very similar.
Yeah, this
The
costume.
theme park. You go ahead.
But yeah, the strange thing about this costume is this is the only other time I could see that they tried to mimic the TV show costume, and in my opinion, it actually turned out better than the movie costume.
Yeah, it's less wide trapezoidal.
Yeah, and the head structure is a lot better than the movie as well.
Yeah.
I just wish we had better pictures of it, but these are literally the only two I could find.
Yeah. I'd put it in B tier.
Sounds good to me.
B or A tier.
I'll put them in A tier, below the
Yeah.
record design. Now
Yeah.
here's another obscure one, but this one's not as good in my opinion. This is movie
Mhm.
promotion puff.
Okay. All right. Um I mean, he's kind of cute, but he has like kind of a dead stare.
Yeah, and this is a problem that we'll start seeing later on is for some reason they instead of keeping Pufnstuf's eyes big and expressive, they start making them small and circular, which does not look good. So yeah, how do we
Uh,
how what any other thoughts on him?
uh, not really.
Where would you place him?
I'd place him in either B or C tier.
All right, I'll put him below movie puff though, because at least he still has the expressive longer eyes.
Yeah.
Now here's a personal favorite design of mine, comic puff.
Comic Puff, of course. Okay. I the comics themselves, because I have some of the comics in my collection. Um, the comics themselves aren't the best.
Well, I didn't expect him to be. I also own one of the comics, but I have it in protective seal, so I never read it.
um, the I find the design kind of lumpy, and they add like it makes him look more wrinkly than he really is.
Yeah, I wonder if they tried to emulate like the fabric folding and stuff, and that's why it looks like that.
Yeah, I'd assume so because it it why else would you just put kind of random wrinkles on him?
Yeah, but besides that, in my opinion, he's probably one of the better toon designs that we have.
Yeah.
So where would you put him?
Um, I'd say either B or C. He's not one of my favorite designs.
I'll put him in B. I'll put him above this one though, because at least he's more
Hmm.
accurate to the source material.
Yeah.
Okay, next design is book puff.
Tough.
This one I'm
I
not a huge
didn't
fan
real
of.
This one I did not realize was from a book. I have this the first image on my phone, but
Yeah, it's from an
oh
old children's book from the 70s.
wow. Um, seeing one of the images you sent me, he looks very rectangular.
Yeah, it's really a really strange tune interpretation of the design.
Yeah. It feels like they were trying to emulate the like style of oh yeah, he's a puppet so he's not very expressive, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah, it works in real life because we understand that's limitations, but in the book,
Yeah.
there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
So where would you put him?
Um I don't really have a ranking for him.
In
I,
my
I like the I like the drawing on the cover, but the derp in the just general construction of him in some of these pictures, um, I'd put him in like B or C.
I'll put him in low C, below the movie promotion costume.
Yeah,
Okay, now here's one that, even though it has cool history, I'm not a fan of. Ice Capades Pufnstuf.
I'm gonna disagree with you on this because like he's kind of cute to me.
Well, he is
He has
cute. He is a bit cute in his own way, but in my opinion, it just looks a little bit off compared to his other designs.
Yeah. I can understand that considering, you know, all the things you gotta do for an ice capades.
Yeah, I will give them that. At least it's better than most of the Disney ones at the time. Like, holy shit, those costumes are nightmare fuel.
Oh jeez, yeah. Um my personal ranking is like A tier because I just find him kind of adorable.
You know what? I'll put him in A tier. But I'll just put him below these two.
Mm-hmm.
And now here's one that I think we can all agree on that is, like, the worst one on the list so far.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck were they thinking with this one?
Exactly. Oh geez. It's weird. It looks very off-brand. Because his head is basically just a circle. His eyes are basically just circles. The eye bags don't actually connect to his eyes. Where are his eyelashes? The hat.
The eyelashes are probably under the fat ass hat.
Exactly. What the hell is going on with the hat? F tier.
Yeah, this is probably the first F tier.
Yeah.
And now we have another toon design, which is Toon Puff Free. This one's more iconic than the other ones.
Yeah. So this one is for the hrpufnstuf show, which is I actually have a question for you. Is the hrpufnstuf show that was like a live show? Was that at the Hollywood Bowl?
I think it might be the same event. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
It could be
'Cause-
though.
Yeah. Also, wasn't tell me if I'm remembering wrong, but didn't they have Johnny Whitaker at the Hollywood Bowl?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they had Johnny Whitaker there, like from Sigmund. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
there as well.
Yeah, I feel like they would have promoted that more, but I don't know. It feels a lot like the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. So how do we feel about this design?
I, he's kind of mid for me. He's like uh the I don't know. I feel like he's like A, B, or C for me.
Yeah, I'll put him in low C. He's not really my personal favorite either. And now here's this one which I'm mixed on because I have a huge nostalgia for this one in specific. But in order to nostalgia, holy shit, this one's bad.
Yeah. Did is your nostalgia because it was on the DVD release?
Yes. That's actually my introduction to
Same.
Pufnstuf back in the early 2000s.
Same. Um, like my copy of the entire series has the same cover on
Yeah,
it.
with the clouds in the background and the sky.
Yeah.
I wish I still had my DVD copy, but we lost that like almost a decade ago.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I need to eventually get another copy in my collection.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, oh boy.
The dead eyes. Let's
Out
talk about that first.
Out of all the costumes they could have used for all these like major events and crossovers, why this one?
Exactly. It's just like it like it has that 90s Pufnstuf costume feel where it's just like they're trying to replicate it, but it doesn't really work.
The main reason why it doesn't work is they're trying to replicate it at a cheaper level, which won't work.
Yeah.
In order to have Pufnstuf be fully like himself, you need to have a bit of a higher budget for these like alternate costumes.
Yeah. It's bringing back memories, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and especially due to how much it's used, the state it was in when it got auctioned off. Oh God.
What did it look like when it got auctioned off?
Oh, hang on. Let me find a picture of it real quick. Let me just open my phone. Pufnstuf,
I'm
Pufnstuf
concerned.
auctions. Because this is arguably one of their most used costumes at the time.
Yeah.
There we go. I found the picture. Here's what it looked like at its end of its use.
Oh, jeez.
That head is just
I
falling
mean,
apart.
yeah. He looks so sad.
It just shows how much they've used it for. I mean, they've been using it since the 70s all the way up to the 90s.
Yeah, and the nose is like completely bleached.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the nose. I can't tell if it's sun faded or if it just got washed so many times that the fabric color just went off.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, but it the head itself has like a decent structure to it.
Yeah, but especially in that image where it was auctioned off, you could tell the foam just deteriorated.
Yeah. Ugh.
So yeah, where would we put this Pufnstuf on the tier list?
Low C tier.
Yeah, I'll put him below movie production Puff.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's one where we start getting semi-decent again. The first version is a Six Flags Puff.
Oh, nice.
And fun fact, this version of Puff actually raced I forgot what his name was, but he was one of the presidents. He actually did
Nice.
yeah, he raced this costume raced against the president a president at one point.
Wow. I um there are some parts I like, some parts I don't like. He's very trapezoidal, and the eye bags and nose take up the majority of the face.
Yeah, I do feel like they oversized some features a bit.
And I see that again in a later image you have. Um, I he's kind of cute in a way, and if I was alive in the 70s, I definitely would have loved doing this. I mean, he looks close enough that, like, a kid can be like, "Hey, that's hrpufnstuf from my favorite TV show." But it the extended features kind of make it off-putting to me.
Yeah, I agree. So, in my opinion, we could probably put him in like below the movie costume, but above the original movie promotion costume.
Yeah.
And now we're having another nosedive back to being crappy costumes because oh boy, Six Flags 2.
Oh, jeez.
This one reminds me of the Hollywood Bowl design, but like if it was reversed engineered.
Yeah. Oh, I just the head is decent, but the body is not.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly it does get worse body wise. So buckle up. It's coming in the next. Like coming up next soon.
Uh, Low C tier.
Yeah, very bottom. And then next we have another tier design. The design they used for Six Flags promotions.
Yeah. Um, the image you have on the tier list is kind of it's uncanny to me in the same way that the first Six Flags design was, but the second image that you just sent me, I aside from like the lips, I find kind of charming. If it wasn't for the lips, I'd find him charming.
Yeah, fair. So where do we put this
Um,
design at?
I don't know. You sent two very sort of different images. So
Well,
are we
these,
ranking specifically the one you have in the tier list?
yeah, we're just rank them together.
Ranking them together, I'd average them to like uh C or B tier.
All right, I'll put them above the first Six Flags costume at least.
Hmm.
And now here we go back to dog shit as we go
Oh
to
no.
North Star Mall Puff.
North. Oh jeez. Oh
Do I
jeez.
even need to explain what's wrong with this costume? The fact
Nope.
that
Nope.
the fact that he's wearing
F
tennis,
tier.
and I found another picture that I couldn't include in this example image, but he's wearing
Mhm.
tennis shoes.
He's wearing tennis shoes.
Yes, not cowboy boots. He's wearing generic ass tennis shoes.
That is like the most simple ask for a Pufnstuf design.
And his face, this head. I know because I don't think it's the same one used for the first Six Flags. It's just two different.
Yeah.
But this one had to be brand new at the time. And it's already falling apart.
Exactly. It's so bad.
His face looks like a deformed pufferfish.
Like, or that he got stung by wasps a million times.
Yeah, and the worst thing of all, the shirt is not long enough, so if you look closely, you can see the employee's arms and the wrists.
I know. It's just F tier.
Yeah, another F tier. Now back to semi-decent Krofft made ones. We have Lidsville Puff.
Lidsville Puff. Okay. So, absolutely iconic episode of Lidsville, by the
Oh yeah,
way.
it's basically the only one I remember.
Yeah, same. I like I remember watching a reaction video to it and the two people who were reacting to it were just going like, hi Billy Hayes, because Billy Hayes plays both Weenie the Dee and Witchy Foo in that episode, and it's funny.
Yeah, Billy Hayes was amazing. Bless her heart. I hope she rests in peace.
Yeah.
Like,
Um, I the head is very floppy.
yeah,
Uh,
it reeks of the Lidsville design style.
yeah. It especially in like the kind of ending shot for it, it feels like it's just kind of melting.
Yeah, fair. But it's definitely not the worst of the costumes. It at least tries to mimic the original show.
Yeah.
So where do you put him?
I put him in like high C or low B.
I'll put him in low B, like above this design though.
Hmm.
Alrighty, next one is the Bay City Rollers Pufnstuf.
Oh, okay. So Bay City Rollers Pufnstuf. So this is from Lost Island?
Um, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, so it's just Bay City Rollers Puff.
Yeah,
Okay. Um, I mean, it's not horrible.
but it's definitely a
It
bit lower than Lidsville.
Yeah. Um, the clip you showed me, you sent me, um, kind of feels like the puppeteer try is doing the Hollywood Bowl thing of like overacting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, even though Pufnstuf's supposed to be energetic, he's not supposed to be like Barney energetic.
Yeah. They also do that in the Chips, is it crossover?
Well,
One
Chips, at least he's not too over like energetic, but yeah, he does do it a little bit in the Chips episode.
Yeah. Um I put him Uh, here.
S, like, which tier did you say?
C.
Oh yeah, C. I'll put him below movie costume though.
Yeah.
And now here's one I'm not really fond of, but once again, it has some history. Theme
Yeah,
park
it's
advertisement
the
puff.
advertisement puff for the World of Sid and Marty Krofft.
Yeah.
Um, again, it has the issues. I always find it unnerving when they try to give Pufnstuf lips.
Yeah, I don't understand. I never understood why they do that. He clearly doesn't have lips.
Exactly.
I mean, we see what happened when they tried to give Sonic lips. It was cursed.
Yes. It's just, but they're trying they're trying really hard to do like the what the original show did and trying to draw the original show.
But that doesn't just work in 2D.
Yeah.
So where would we put this guy at?
Um I don't know. What do you think?
Me personally, I put him high F.
Yeah.
Because he's not nearly as bad as these two fuckos at the bottom. But he still doesn't deserve to
Yeah.
be in C tier due to how, like, weird he looks.
Yeah.
Now, this one you might be more familiar with. Dark Ride Puff in the
Yes.
Royal Martykrofft.
Yes. Um just so you know, like I tend to research the park a lot. It's one of the main things I'm knowledgeable about Krofft stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, um, I I mean, it's not the image you used is from somebody's private collection.
Yeah, this is before
Um,
you this is I prepared these images long before. You sent me those images you found, so I couldn't include those.
ah, um, but to, if you want to include them in the final video, seeing them in their original glory, is it's definitely a lot better than this.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
agree.
yeah. Uh, I One sec. Let me look at my images real quick
All right.
because I have 50 billion images. My folder is 945 images long.
Oh god.
Um, so it might take me a minute.
Yeah, take your time. We have plenty of time. But while in the
Uh,
meantime, I'll give my thoughts on it. It's not
hmm,
bad. It's above the Hollywood Bowl costume, I'd say.
yeah,
Because at least from what I can see, they at least gave him back his googly eyes,
yeah.
which is
Um,
something that was apparently missing for a while. Like, Pufnstuf's main iconic gimmick was the googly eyes. Why the fuck would you remove it?
mhm. um, looking at my images, I ugh, he's not the best. He's like, hmm, I'm trying to think of which one I want to compare him to. He's he looks a bit like he looks a bit like he looks if it was an actual costume, he'd look a bit cheap. He looks a bit like the Hollywood Bowl design.
Yeah, but in some aspects, he looks better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mainly the
Um.
eyes.
Yeah. Uh. I don't know. Some of I only really have two images of him, but I'd I'd put him. Uh, I'm trying to think. I'd
Alright.
feel I feel either mid C or mid B because like no
Oh,
mid B
mid B. So in between plush and comic?
plush and comic. Yeah.
Alrighty. And now here's this one, which is, I'm not gonna lie. Hang on, where is it? This one I've never been a fan of. Like he doesn't he doesn't scream Pufnstuf to me.
Yeah, this is the 90s design. Didn't they use that for like a reunion or something with Jack
Uh
Wild?
no, I think what you're thinking of is the one using the Hollywood Bowl one, because that one was
Huh.
still being used at the time as well.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's on that random sitcom.
Yeah,
Um,
this Pufnstuf costume doesn't scream Pufnstuf to me. It looks more like Elmo trying to cosplay as Pufnstuf, if I were to describe it
yeah,
that way.
the head is too upwards and too round.
Yeah, it's not nearly wide enough.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm not a huge fan of the Hollywood Bowl costume, I will give it that. At least the head wideness is actually correct.
Yeah. Um, I I I don't personally like it that much. I feel it's kind of uncanny and the hair is kind of too long.
Yeah, same. So F.
F. Yeah.
I'll put him below this one though, at least.
Yeah.
And now here's the bread and butter of my channel, Kaufman
Hmm.
Puff. Starting with the early version of his this interpretation of the design.
So for me, as I appreciate Kaufman's style, um, and but I definitely feel that the second iteration is better.
Oh
Because
yeah,
this one, the the legs are very tiny, and it's kind of, and the body is very round, and the tail is very thick, and it it doesn't it. I like the second version better.
yeah, same. This one's not bad, but the second version's just better. So where would we place him at?
Uh, mm, I don't know. Where do you think?
I'd say high B, like
Mm,
below this one.
yeah.
And then next, now here's where it starts getting good again.
Hmm. Now, like this compared to the last one, I feel like it gives it perfectly does puff and stuff in the Kaufman style.
Yeah. And if Pufnstuf were ever to
Like,
get rebooted as a 2D cartoon, this is what I imagine he looked like.
yeah. The one thing I don't really like is the teeth, that he has teeth and that there's a gap in his teeth.
Fair, but I think it gives it some charm.
Yeah. Definitely differentiates it.
Yeah,
Um, I I like it. I feel like it's a charming little design.
same. In my opinion, he goes like high, very high A.
Yeah.
Alright. And then more toon designs, we have Shagpuff used at that one event.
Sh- oh, yeah. The one from Puff's Pad.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's a very stylized design.
yeah.
Um, I I don't hate it, but I don't love it either, because in all three images, it just looks like he has the same face,
Fair.
and the body, again, the legs are very thin.
Yeah, and very long. Like, in my opinion, Pufnstuf shouldn't really have long legs.
Yeah.
Most of his height comes from the long torso, if anything.
Yeah. He's a round little guy.
Yeah. He's a dragon with a pot
Uh,
belly. That's the best way to describe it.
yeah. Um. I mean, I feel like it does modern house-ify Pufnstuf.
Yeah. But I wouldn't pick. I
I
definitely wouldn't pick it for like a TV show adaptation though.
yeah.
So where would you put him?
Um. If there was a tier called for decoration purposes only.
In my opinion,
So
we could put him above Comic Puff at least.
yeah.
And then now we're getting to the modern stuff, like 2010 post.
Yeah.
Modern Puff.
So okay. I have some thoughts. Personally, I am not the biggest fan of the modern Krofft puppet style. Um, it I I can understand it, and I can understand the design philosophy behind it, but it is not my jam. And uh, I, have you watched the full Stuff episode?
Yeah, like a long time ago, but I do still remember it. And in my opinion, this costume's not bad, but I do prefer the
Yeah.
1969 version more, mainly because of the extra detail that one had. This one just seems too simplified.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense for a modern puppet of Pufnstuf. Um, you can also see like the modern Krofft puppets in the Sigmund reboot or in the canceled Bugaloos pilot with Sparky. Um, and one thing I don't really like about them is the overuse of animatronics.
Fair. I mean, it's good for like live events, so they don't have to do the
Yeah.
floppy mouth thing. But for the TV show, for like TV show purposes, I honestly think they should go back to puppeteering.
Yeah. I
Because
mean, it works for me. It works better when it's Jim Henson with the mechanics and the animatronics, but for Krofft, it doesn't.
fair. But my main dislike towards this design, like it's not a huge dislike, but it's a slight one, is the fact that they removed all the airbrush shading, which kind of made the costume look distinct, like gave it more color.
Yeah, it does look kind of flat
But I will give
as far as you can be in 3D.
but I will give the new costume this though. I love how they solved the wrinkle problem in the legs.
The wrinkle problem in the legs?
Yeah, because they don't nearly sag as much anymore, and they look more like actually like a cartoon, which I adore.
Mm. Mm.
Which is an issue Puffins have faced for a couple decades. They never found out how to get the legs to look good.
Mm. I don't know. I I do find him kind of charming, and I would be pleased as much to actually see this design in real life. Um, but it is definitely not my favorite.
Yeah, but it's definitely not bad though. So I'd put it like high A.
Yeah.
If only it had air, it'd be higher like below the 69 design if it had airbrushing though.
I put it under the Kaufman puff,
All right,
in my opinion.
and then here's one that's actually you may not know is also Kaufman design.
Yes, I exploring his Tumblr yesterday. Yes.
And you can still clearly see his style in this design, but it's definitely more
Yeah.
fine tuned to be more accurate main design.
Yeah. Wasn't this used for was it the re-release of the not Puffapalooza? I know I have the VHS copy of this. It's the thing where they put an episode of every Krofft show in it.
I believe
Aside,
so, but they also used this design for a skate deck at the time, which also used the designs from the other designs from the adaptation at the time.
yeah. Um, he's a little blank faced, and I feel like missing the eyelids, it makes him feel a little more blank faced, but he's not the worst.
Yeah, the original skate deck design is a bit better. I just grabbed this one from the YouTube channel of sidandmartykrofft from one of their Pufnstuf videos. But let me show you the actual skate deck.
Okay.
And in fact, I actually drew the skate deck design at one point. Pufnstuf skate deck. Here we go. And you'll see what I mean that has the original, like, adaptation designs of Freddy.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I like this skate deck better.
Yeah.
I feel either B or C.
Yeah, I think a high B. Still below this one, but still not bad.
Yeah.
And now we got all the Puff ones done. Now we can just move on to Freddy. Starting with the classic TV show Freddy.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. In terms of actual character, I wish there was more Freddy appreciation in the show.
Oh yeah, he does seem like a bit of an underused character, especially later on.
Yeah, because I rewatched the entire series, and I actually made a spreadsheet of how many times flute was said throughout the show.
Oh yeah, I saw that in your video.
Yes, and there are times when it gets to only said in the intro, and I'm pretty sure 0.
But yeah, but in my opinion, besides some of the toon designs that we'll see later on, this is the best design Freddy's ever had.
Yeah,
similar to the 1969
Puff. I'd put it in S.
Yeah. Similar to the 1969 Puff, they just executed the craftsmanship very well the first try.
Yeah. And he's cute in this one.
Yeah, it's just a shame that the original puppet's just decayed now. Like I sent you pictures of you like last week, but
yeah,
I believe it's the same one that's seen in this photo. Man, it just sucks that it's falling apart so badly.
Yeah, puppet doesn't. It's not meant to last forever, and like, have you seen? I know there was like a somewhat popular image of the original Yoda puppet.
I didn't see that one, but I saw the Ninja Turtle ones.
Oh yeah, the Ninja Turtle ones.
And they all share a similar issue with the Freddy puppet, and they were all mainly used rubber and latex stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why Freddy aged so poorly. Like, not all Freddys on the show were made like that. I believe some were made of resin, like the ones that didn't talk, and just were thrown around. But some of the ones that talked, like all the ones that talked or had flexibility, all used rubber. And they aged like old Nerf balls.
Yeah. It's not fun.
But at least some of the resin ones are still in good shape. Like, I believe one got auctioned off like around the same time as the Hollywood Bullpuff, and that one was still in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
But yeah, next one is Movie Freddy. This one, Movie Puff is a downgrade for sure.
Yeah, the something I'm noticing looking at them side by side is movies Freddy's eyes are a lot farther apart
Oh yeah,
and and like smaller.
yeah. That's one thing I've noticed as well.
Um, what again, this is a critique of just the movie in general. One thing I don't like is the change in Freddy's voice because his voice in the original show, you can sort of believe that that's you know, a it could theoretically be a male voice actor, but in the movie it's very
Very feminine.
it's very feminine and it feels his voice is more annoying in the movie than it is on the show.
Yeah, fair. I was never a fan. Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of the movie voice actors in general.
Yeah,
Like Lenny Wyman for life for Pufnstuf.
yeah. It's always Lenny Weinrib. It but he got replaced on the movie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
So
which is
his character
which is just a sad decision, like, because that's the voice of Pufnstuf.
yeah, it like people try to replicate it, but it's never gonna be the same.
Yeah, even my dad thinks it sounds a little bit off. Current Puff sounds a little bit off.
Yeah, it's they either make him too southern or not southern enough.
Yeah. So yeah, how do we feel about where do we put movie Freddy at? Same tier as movie
Um,
Puff?
we'd actually put it above, like in B or A tier because, like, I I personally feel that it's better than Movie Puff because it actually looks like Freddy.
Fair.
I mean, Freddy
I'll,
isn't that hard to do because he's a stick with
well,
eyes.
on that, later on you'll see a design that I specifically dislike. Okay, so I'll put him below this one. And next one is Ice Capades Freddy, and oh my goodness!
Is that just a cardboard cutout?
No! That is a long ass flute! That's a long ass Freddy!
Oh my gosh. I thought it was from like a book or something.
No, that is the one that they used on the Ice Capades. Why is it so
Uh,
long? Why is he so long?
I assume to like make him easier to see from the audience.
Yeah, but dear God, that's not a flute anymore. That's a fucking clarinet.
Exactly.
So yeah, where are we putting this guy at?
I'm not sure. It's really long and I'm not sure if it even counts as a puppet, to be honest.
Well, we're not judging them by puppet. We're just judging their designs.
Yeah.
So on a design standpoint, how do you feel? Where do you think he should be placed?
Where did we put Book Puff? We put Book Puff in
C.
C tier. I put him. I'm next to Book Puff.
All right. And now back to my bread and butter, Kaufman Puff.
Mhm.
Starting with the early design of Kaufman's Freddy.
Yeah. Um. I mean, I kind of from footage I've seen, I kind of like the direction they were going. Like, um, can can it like was this a you thing or was this a Kaufman thing? Like the idea of Freddy flying?
I think for my adaptation, my style of Puff and stuff, I actually was inspired to make Freddy fly by Kaufman.
Yeah.
Because
So
I feel like just because I feel like that's more of a way to make him more active as a character, and plus it makes him more magical.
exactly, it gives him a bit of agency.
Yeah.
Not that Freddy is an agency-less character. He has some agency, but
And when he does move to the show, he's just cross at he's a slow snail.
He's slow as a snail, exactly. He's being a glorified stick is not the best way to live your life.
Yeah, so the fact that Kaufman like made him more active and actually gave him like more magical powers actually fits in with the magical flute thing rather than him just being a talking flute.
Yeah.
This early design is not bad, but I do prefer the more finalized one better since it's more simplified.
Yeah. I also like the line work on the finalized one better.
Yeah, because this one for some reason was lineless, which doesn't fit well with the other style, like others in the same style.
Yeah. I would have been like mid B tier.
Alright, so like slightly below, like actually I put him above early Kaufman Puff, at least because he's still appealing.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll put him above that one as well.
Yeah.
And then next is finalized Kaufman Freddy, which is unfortunately only one image I could find of it due to how obscure the final cut of the intro is.
Mm-hmm. He's just a cute little guy. He's a silly little guy.
Yeah, and I like even though he's not like nearly as bendy as the earlier design, he still is able to fly and stuff, and it still looks natural. So
yeah, I put this in either like A or B tier.
I'll put him in A next to finalized Kaufman Puff.
Yeah.
And here's the one I was talking about that I hate. Modern Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this puppet.
Oh jeez,
I don't like how they did the mouth. Why the fuck did they do the mouth like that?
Yeah, it's bad. This is from Pufnstuf?
Yeah. And thank God it was only used for that show, because Jesus Christ, I really do not like this puppet.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, they tried to model the lips onto the latex itself. But it doesn't work with how the mouth mechanism moves, because it makes it fold outwards.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
That's why the original Freddy's had a separate piece of like stretchy stuff over the mouth, like as an actual lips, so it moved more naturally.
He doesn't look as cute. He looks like kind of demonic.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, it's clearly based off the brass ones they produce, but even those ones look more accurate. So what went wrong?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's out of every design of Freddy the Flute out there, this one's the worst. Mainly due to how it's like when it's not moving, it looks fine with the mouth fully shut. But when the mouth starts moving, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And other critiques I have with it is the head's way too short, like the very top of the head. It's way shorter than the original. The eyes are way too small, gives me old movie Sonic vibes.
Yeah.
And the fact that they replaced the secondary gold with a silver.
It's not good.
Yeah, I never understood why they replaced the secondary gold with silver. It's supposed to be a golden flute. The secondary color should be a lighter gold.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, maybe it was to break the monotony of the colors a bit, because like one thing about martykrofft is it's a lot more saturated.
Maybe, but this, if anything, it makes it less saturated.
Yeah.
So yeah, in my opinion, this is the only Freddy the Flute that goes in F.
Yeah.
I'll put him below this one, I'm being generous. But yeah, that was the tier list.
Nice.
And I like how we agreed on most options, while we sort of disagreed on others, like for example, Ice Capade's Puff. But overall, this is pretty fun, especially discussing with another person who actually is knowledgeable on Puff and stuff. That rarely ever happens for me.
Honestly, same. I have whenever I the only people I know in real life who know about Pufnstuf are like in their 50s and 60s and like don't know like any of the history behind it. So it's just like so it's kind of limited on the things I can really talk to them about.
Yeah, same here. Even though my stepmom and my dad are open to hear me talk about the history, especially my dad. My dad actually is very like honored that I end up liking Puff and stuff as much as I did,
Yeah.
because he's the one that introduced me to it via the DVD.
Yeah. But same here with my dad.
So yeah,
Yeah. It it's I feel this is a good ranking of the Pufnstufs.
yeah,
Um and I hope that if they choose to make more Pufnstuf in the future, they don't use the modern design. Well, I mean, I'm okay with the modern design, but I feel they should desaturate the colors and keep it closer to the original.
yeah, and it would be best for them to base it off the original and like via like in person like inspection. But
Yeah.
it's unknown whether or not the original still exists. Like we discussed it the other day in casual talk, but we don't even know where half these original costumes are.
Yeah.
Like 1969 Puff, movie Puff, Ice Capades Puff, Lidsville Puff, Bay City Rollers Puff, all gone. They haven't been seen for decades.
Yeah.
So it's unclear whether or not any of these designs have survived, whether or not they were taken apart or lost in storage units.
Yeah. A book I would recommend in terms of trying to find some of these things is Pufnstuf and Other Stuff.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to check that out. I haven't had the money to get it yet.
I could send you like the pictures of the pages if you want,
Oh,
because
that'd be good.
it has a lot of very good information on where some of these designs went, and it has actual interviews with Marty, Sid, and Marty's daughters. So
Yeah,
you
any information about where these things are, I'll take.
yeah, even if it is severely outdated, and it still does the kind of mythical Krofft origin story of their seventh generation puppeteers, and their father totally supported all their dreams to be puppeteers. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's all for today, guys. We'll see you next time.
Can I do my outro?
Sure thing.
Well, that's been your alarm clock call for the day. No insight. Feel free to carry on with your day.
Yeah, and make sure to check out their channel. I have it linked in the description and like as a thing at the very end of the video.
Yay!
So yeah, see you guys later.
Bye!
hrpufnstuf, who's your friend when things get rough? hrpufnstuf, can't do a little 'cause he can't do enough. hrpufnstuf, who's your friend when things get rough? hrpufnstuf,